It's not that easy, but Grammarly can help. This sentence is grammatically correct, but it's wordy and hard to read. It undermines the writer's message, and the word choice is bland. Grammarly's cutting-edge technology helps you craft compelling, understandable writing that makes an impact on your reader. Much better. Are you ready to give it a try? Installation is simple and free. Visit Grammarly.com today.
Future powered by cryptocurrency. Meet the tax-free way to invest in crypto. With an Alto Crypto IRA, you can use your retirement savings to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency directly through our integration with Coinbase. Who knows? The currency of the future might just shape yours. Here's how to get started. Open a crypto IRA with Alto. Choose between a Roth, traditional, or SEP IRA. Fund your IRA with cash, or transfer funds from the existing retirement account. Start trading through our integration with Coinbase and make your first investment. Already investing in cryptocurrency? Consider using your retirement savings to invest, tax-free. It's easy to open and start trading. Get started with Alto, the tax-free way to invest in crypto. Start trading.
Book has changed its name or rebranded. Incredible new augmented reality. Is this locking you into the Facebook realm forever? And what will happen in there? Hello there, you 4.5 million miracles, you wonders of the cyber world. Will you be inhabiting the metaverse? When I see, I think on Instagram or something, it says meta at the bottom of it. It's like you know when your technology does stuff to you, you think, oh, wait a minute, you plug your phone and we're going to give the download, whether you'll access it or not, my boy. I don't want the download. I've got to go okay and not now, and we're just a little worried. Just leave me alone, give me some space. Well, now they're giving you more than space. They're giving you the entire universe. Or, in fact, to give it its proper name, the metaverse. Let's have a look what's going on in there. West Knight, writing in Guardian, says, Mark Zuckerberg and his company have been busy trying to revamp his image. There is a long tradition of companies themselves after scandal. Private security firm Blackwater changed the name.
That man said, pull up for me. I got you. No, hey, don't worry about it, bruh.
What version of
Don't worry about it, bruh. I got you covered, man.
A bit scary. If you ever see Blackwater, you think, oh my God, what's down there in those murky depths?
All right. So I will have one of these. There's only like one left. That man said he had a hard week. Damn, that shit tastes good. Listen to Russell Brand talk about this metaverse shit, yo. Y'all gonna be living in the metaverse, man. Which one you invested in, man? I got some of that Ethereum and some of that Shiba. The pie? have to try some of that. Pie. You're gonna have to send me the code for that shit. PI? I don't see a crypto coming up underneath that shit, man. Damn. Alright, I think I need to empty this. Some gun. Alright. Got that emptied. Had to go holler at my homie. Get a bag of no name. Had to go get a bag of that no name. See what this thing hitting for. What? HTB is what I'm looking for. That's what the code is. Let's see. Let me go to my Coinbase. Go to trade and look up HTB. The hot Bitcoin. He said, I'm about to hack a server, and then started laughing. Hack the box. Oh man, you got me over here looking up some shit. Hot bit token is 6 cents per coin right now. Did you bring my tablet?
You didn't ask me to, did you?
Yes, I did.
Well, I didn't know. Where is it at?
In my tablet, in my laptop bag.
You want the glove too?
No. Look it up on what app? Coinbase or that the Webull or I don't know. What should I look it up on? Yes. Just all these pretty little buds. Oh, I'm dropping shit. Oh! Heard something hit the floor. Watch your tail, boo. Ha ha. 2 buds last me a year. So we finally went live with the artwork that I've been doing for my Black Scranton project, Black Excellence Gala. So I may start sharing some of that stuff on Instagram and other places.
You turn the Bluetooth off?
Yeah, because I'm going to use this and I'll DJ myself while you work on your work. Pi app is in the App Store. Alright, nice. Connected the iPad to the thingamabobber. Alright. So now let's see. The Pi app is in the App Store.
Depths. What horrors lie within? What carnivorous devastation is there? Why don't we name our company after it? Yeah, I like it here. The tobacco giant's Philip Morris was real named Altria, presumably to make you think of the concept of altruism rather than lung cancer. Altria. BP's Mick.
Altria. All right, so is it this Pi app right there with the pink? Is that like pinkish red and yellow, or is it the one to the top that says Pi Network and has like two people hugging, almost like a Gemini sign? Oh, that is the Pi sign. Okay, see, that's how I stole it to make my TP logo. So is it that Pi, the Pi Network, or Pi Finance? The second one from the top or the second one I showed? Fuck, bro. That's the first one to the top. This is actually the second one, even though I showed it first. So it's this one, is what you're saying? Yes, it's the Pi Network with the Pi sign that looks like two people hugging. Pi Network. Nice.
I need my mouse. Boo, you about to have to get out.
Pi Network. Alright. Got the app, bro. I'll set that up later. So I'm really trying to see what else I can do to this image that's on the canvas to wrap it up and then move on to the next thing, because I
2,000 phrasing degree.
I want to get this underpainting at least started before I'm finishing the studio today, because I'm really anxious to go play some video games, I'm not gonna lie. And I already got a message earlier for some guys who are online, but I'm gonna work on the next underpainting, then I gotta talk to the next client, and then I feel like I'll be able to take a break and do some other shit. And then tomorrow I may just have to start a new painting. It's almost time to go find something for lunch, yo.
Lunch? Yeah, I guess it is only 1:47.
That Battlefield, bro. Bruh. I've been on it, man. Still taking a while to get used to. And then it's weird, they gave us old maps, but they gave us old maps from games I didn't play, like Battlefield Bad Company. I didn't play that. And Battlefield, the old Battlefield 1842 or 1942, or like I never played those games, so all that shit is new to me. And then we had a whole squad the other night, and we were playing like against bots because we couldn't. It took us a minute to get into a server, so we ran one of the bot things, yo. And yo, the bots on that shit play like real people, yo. Yo, you working today or you off, bro? Like I say, man, I got like another couple hours in the studio. Then I really am gonna take a break, man. Battlefield and Cowboy Bebop is gonna be the rest of the day. Well, like I said, I gotta get this money, yo. Bank account looking kind of light, and I got the money right here at my fingertips. So I just need to work on these paintings, bro. Not the Oculus. Yo, I've been listening to Zuckerberg talk about the metaverse and all this shit and how he's gonna use the Oculus to make the metaverse everything you never knew you needed. Ready Player One, yo, here we come. So I definitely gotta listen to some more of that. One of my homies, he went ghost on me now because I ain't listened to him to start with. He told me some shit about the metaverse months ago on starting investing in that shit, yo. And then I was like, when I came back and stepped to him, like, yo, tell me about that shit you was talking about. He ain't say nothing yet. I'll be the same way, like, nigga, you should have listened the first time when I was telling you, nigga. Oh, now you see. Oh, you heard the white man say something. Now you want to ask some more questions, huh? Yeah, he been on this shit for a couple years, yo. He the only person I have on my friends list now that posts like his little augmented reality shit. He have like a Batman statue, but it's a VR statue, but it's on his back porch or some shit, yo. Like it's really there, but it's not. It's just augmented reality. Like you can see that shit like it's really fucking there and walk all around that shit and everything. I'm like, but what fun is that? Just collecting these little items like that. But then, health instructor or workout instructor, they can sit right there and do all the workout routines with you, and the motherfucker look like you're there, but they're not really there. He said, I'm trying to build an OnlyFans for Meta. This motherfucker crazy. Okay, you gotta go to work after class. Cowboy Bebop, I feel you, bro. Alright, guys. Let's find some. Oh, finish listening to Russell Brand is talking about the metaverse, I think.
Include trying out the name Beyond Petroleum. Are you Beyond Petroleum? Not really. We're right in the middle of it. In fact, the only thing we do is make and sell petroleum, but we're sort of beyond it because we're a bit worse than it. Zuckerberg's virtual world of play pretend is a way of escaping the destruction he's wrought on the real one. Rather than address the ruination, Zuckerberg wants us all to turn our attention to the land of make-believe where he's friends with rappers and you can watch Instagram stories on a pirate ship.
Where he's friends with rappers and watch Instagram stories on a pirate ship.
It's time for us to adopt a new company brand to encompass everything that we do.
Mark, are you sure you want to do this video yourself? Yes, I'm sure I want to do the video myself. Are you not worried that people will think you're like a little veal calf up on its hind legs, just released from a crate by protesters doing a presentation? No, I'm not worried about that. Are you not worried that people think you've cut your fringe a bit too high up your head, like sort of a little Caesar, Julius Caesar from old days from a coin? Look, stop asking me. This is my company. I come up with all these ideas. If they was going to invent Facebook, they would have invented Facebook. I mean, Meta.
I am proud to announce that starting today, our company is now Meta.
It's the wrong vibe, I would say. It's too sort of scary and dystopic. I've seen enough like post-Kubrickian sci-fi to know now that when this tone comes, we're all gonna die.
Today, we're gonna talk about the metaverse. Imagine you put on your glasses or headset and you're instantly in your home space.
I once was taught a meditation technique by this teacher, and he actually told me to do this myself in your own mind. He goes, when you meditate, before your day of preparation, meditate a space, make it beautiful, make sure you have to walk into a forest and cross a river to get there, which are sort of Jungian and archetypal techniques to establish a psychic connection with your archetypal mind space. Then he says, envisage a space within there, like a shed or a shack or a mansion, whatever you want to be in. It could be a palace. Then you go in there and put on your outfit for the day. If you've got a day of meetings and confrontations, you might want to wear some armour. If you've got a day with your family, you will wear something appropriate for that. Put on your uniform for the day. This is becoming mindful and conscious. This is another example of externalizing something that operate within the interior domain. We are primarily beings of consciousness. What I mean by that, it's not some airy-fairy thing, is your life is your experience of your life. Stands to reason, right? The things you smell, touch, think, project, make up your reality. Outsourcing that internal reality to Facebook or Meta is not going to make life better. It's going to abstract you from the inner reality of your life. I've got enough problems with this little bloody phone. If I can pretend to be a football manager, that'll steal 8 hours in my day like that. If I can start wandering around in a place and dressing up as a samurai and putting on boxing gloves, you'll not see me. I'll be out of reality. That's it. Your children are starving. I would get them with my samurai sword. People's problem is not that we're too disconnected from reality. It's that we are not connected to reality enough. This is the opposite of what's required. I'm not querying or questioning the ingenuity and endeavour that has gone into this. I'm merely saying that placing something this powerful into the stream of ideas, behaviours and systems that are currently in existence will not be good, because everything is so relentlessly geared towards the acquisition of profit and power that if you put something this brilliant into it, it's overly turbocharging and mobilising an already potent force. And I've only looked for 5 seconds, and my energy is about, oh my God, I want to do it. I want to go in there.
It has parts of your physical home recreated virtually. It has things that are only possible virtually. And it has an incredibly inspiring view of whatever you find most beautiful.
Right, he's in there right now. Oh, he's having a lovely time in there. Look at that lovely fireplace. And oh, it's gorgeous in there. I mean, yeah, you'll get to the point where you just think, what, reality? That thing where no one likes me? I'm off in the metaverse with lovely old slender veal calf Mark Zuckerberg to laze about looking at that lovely view, have a samurai fight, and you know what you're already thinking about in the back of your mind could take place in virtual world. And I'm not even going to say it because I'm too spiritually advanced, but it'll get saucy in there.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, are you coming?
Definitely gonna get saucy in that
because there are a million uses for this, and that is definitely one of them.
Yeah, just gotta find something to wear.
With the new Sapphire Preferred card, you now earn 5 times total points on travel purchased through Chase.
Like to visit Grandma?
In Mexico City?
Yeah, vamos a Mexico.
Can I wear that baby suit tonight?
Claro. That's what I'm talking about. You also earn 3 times points on dining.
On all this?
Mm-hmm. Live it up.
Even there?
Yep, there too. You two know how to have a night out. And morning. Points on breakfast. Your same getaways are now more rewarding. Sapphire Preferred from Chase. Make more of what's yours.
There we go. That's perfect. Wow, that's incredible.
Using Zelle to send money to friends and family pretty much wherever they bank is incredible.
Isn't that right, Kevin? Zelle.
All right, perfect.
I mean, imagine Mark Zuckerberg. He was just like, for a little while in his life, a brilliantly gifted, as I understand. I'm sure you lot believe in all kinds of stuff. Put it in the comments below. I'd be interested to read it. But like, as far as I know, just some normal guy growing up in the normal world. And like, he's clever, and he goes to Harvard, he invents this thing, and now he's literally occupying his own universe and selling us on that universe. I don't know what to make of this at all. I mean, it's kind of like a prophet. Spellings of the word.
Oh, hey, Mark. Hey, what's going on?
Hi, Mark. What's up, Mark?
Whoa, we're floating in space?
Uh-huh.
Who made this place? It's awesome.
Oh man, I'm glad that I'm an adult, a jaded in some ways an adult full of optimism about the spiritual possibilities for radically reorganising society, because if I was like young, I think I just would have no critical capacity. All I would be is like, oh my God, I'll still probably get pulled in.
Yeah, I can't deny that I want to go in the metaverse. Let me get my fucking Oculus Quest headset too, man. Fuck that.
Privacy and safety need to be built into the metaverse from day one.
Yeah. Brilliant. Okay, you said enough.
Fuck your privacy
and safety built into the metaverse from day one.
No,
everyone.
You'll get to decide when you want to be with other people.
That's the least you can do. What, you're not gonna barge people into my mind without asking me. Yes, that we guarantee you that we will sometimes.
When you want to block someone from appearing in your space, or when you want to take a break and teleport to a private bubble to be alone.
Oh, do you know what? Just need my mind and teleport to a private bubble. Sponsored by Coke, where all the best bubbles come from.
You're going to be able to bring things from the physical world into the metaverse. Almost any type of media that can be represented digitally, photos, videos, art, music, movies, books, games, you name it.
What's the point in that? Stay at home if you've got it already.
No, I'm going to metaverse and read my book.
I want things in there that I can't get.
Let's take a look at what working in the metaverse will be like. Imagine if you could be at the office without the commute.
And then you
would
have
still
a
have
kid,
that sense of
once
presence,
they're
shared
1 year
physical
old and their
space.
cranium bones are fused together, and the doctors say that they can wear a headset, that you can put their headset on and plop them in the metaverse
Conveying to
right
our
from year one.
conscious, sentient selves a small fraction of potential available reality. It makes sense that if we can only see a narrow part of the electromagnetic range, that there are other forms of light. I mean, we know that there are other forms of energy, other things that we don't have the sensory instruments to receive, but are nonetheless out there. So if you think, well, we're already in the kind of simulation, the simulation of our bodily senses, then I suppose something like this doesn't matter. But if you think there's something integral to being human, that we are somehow evolved in alliance with and in connection to one another and nature, that the food we eat, the systems that we're a part of, the biological systems I mean, are somehow part of us, that we're not individuals separate from our environments but one another, but relational beings that feel and connect with one another constantly in ways that are too subtle, refined, beautiful, even sublime for us to iterate, then what this becomes is the commodification and the mechanization of potentially all human experience. That's what it potentially becomes. Again, I always feel like I want to point out that I'm not about criticizing individual ingenuity. I'm simply trying my limited best to understand what we might create with these tools and whether or not we're focused on the right issues for right now. Is this where we're at now? Is this what we need to deal with? When you think about your own life for a moment, think, immerse myself entirely in a fabricated reality. And if the answer is yes, that's probably because of your economic situation, your social situation, your mental health. And I don't think that the answer to that is like some kind of digital kosh, some digital smack, some binary hallucinogen to extract you yet further from reality. So, with all respect to the many brilliant people that have worked on this phenomenal concoction, I shouldn't be allowed
How
to
can
do
you
this.
compliment and talk shit about something at the same
fishing and that shoots about. I start feeling a little bad. I shouldn't have shot that person. What have I done? I can't go in here.
You can actually do more than you could in your regular work setup. And on top of all that, you can keep wearing your favorite sweatpants.
I don't think you should be keeping them on. Not after what you've been doing in the metaverse.
Then there is Horizon Worlds.
Bro, you never change your clothes in here. My nigga, it's metaverse. Like, clothes don't get dirty.
It's literally the Matrix, I think, isn't it? It's like, well, we don't need the helmet anymore. We can just plug
You know what?
this
They
thing
just
into the back of
uploaded
your
the
neck.
code,
I mean, that
and
is
now
something depicted
clothes
in the
can get
Matrix
dirty
and
in here.
comparable films. You know, they're not state authorities that are
Buy your
creating
new
those
virtual
technological
washing
dystopias.
machine.
They're private because that's where that technological advance comes from, albeit with some state assistance in the developmental stages of that tech. So I would say the thing itself, like electricity, you can light up a city or you can kill somebody. You know, these things are not in and of themselves either negative or positive, as most non-dualistic philosophy acknowledges. It is in utility that you find morality. What do you do, not what do you think? And what our system does with something like this is potentially terrifying.
I think this could be very positive for our society and economy. Giving people access to jobs in more places, no matter where they live, will be a big deal for spreading opportunity to more people.
Even something as innovative.
So he is the guy from Ready Player One, whoever that dude was who created I can't even remember what they called their game world. Like where you can do anything and be anyone and go anywhere. It can be a racing game, a fishing game, a space game, or you can just chill in your own bubble or hang out with your friends and have a taco party. Like you can do whatever you want to do. Like he is literally becoming that character from Ready Player One, creating this entire universe for people to just live in, you know. Wow, Zuckerberg. Pretty fucking smart. Halliday. Something Halliday. What's that dude's name? And then he left all these little Easter eggs hidden in the game, so when he dies, if you solve all the puzzles, then you can own the company and then you can control the world, the metaverse. You can be a god inside the metaverse.
This is still framed within a static and stagnating economic and ideological framework that your primary function in life is to work. It does a little bit of leisure. Look at our mates looking like they're out of a bloody Marvel movie, round a table playing cards with a thing or whatever. But it's crunch time. You're going to be out of work the whole time. You're going to be able to work in this way. People are going to make more profits. It's going to be good for our economy. You think that you live in the same economic metaverse as Mark Zuckerberg? He's alone there with a few people that can afford to ride unicorns.
Dropping our daily commutes will mean less time stuck in traffic and more time doing things that matter. And it'll be good for the environment.
The environment? We don't need the environment no more. We've got a metaverse. Fuck the environment.
So giving everyone the tools to be present, no matter where they are, whether it's a hologram sitting next to you in a physical meeting or in a discussion taking place in the metaverse, that's going to be a game changer.
As I always say, I've got no truck with the world's most powerful billionaires. I'm just a little man with a couple of mates making videos. But what I feel is that in alliance with our pre-existing systems and ideologies, technology of this scale, scope, and with this potential will be another nail in the coffin of true humanity, true awakening as we've been immersed in the kind of elite forces that dominate material reality right now. So on one hand, it's a radical change and incredible ingenuity. On the other hand, it's just another tool of very, very powerful people to dominate your consciousness, your experience, your life. And it's a powerful tool. But that's just what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think this is a great thing? You're going to find it attractive, right? I mean, you're going to have a go of it, wouldn't you? Why would you not? I remember when I first had a go on into virtual reality things 5 years ago. I couldn't believe it. It was just probably something now that you would laugh at, like ding, 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 ding. My dream Mark Zuckerberg moves like that anyway. That's out of order. No need to get personal. Or is there? That's just what I think. Sign up to my mailing list so I can connect with you whenever I need to. I promise I won't come into your mind space uninvited. And if you're in the UK, north, south, east or west, come see me live between January and May next year with my show where I talk about all this stuff and have a real laugh about it too. Have a look at this video if you enjoyed this one and learn some meditation and develop a relationship with your internal life that doesn't have a billionaire mediating it at some point. Stay free. In it at some point. Stay free. Because I feel like
got Apoyos maybe. Calling from Texas. Is it Apoyos? Apollos. Sorry about that. Thinks there is I got you. Thinks there is. I saw Texas, so I don't know if it could be Apoyos. You could be like, the chickens or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
He thinks there is a different standard being used by atheists to dismiss Brandon of arguments and Jesus's resurrection. Let's dive in, my man.
So
So, that actually, well, I actually have a lot of things I want to talk about concerning, it's mostly the different arguments I see popping up over on the other side. I'm not necessarily here to give like a full case.
I'm not necessarily here. Like, you sound like Napoleon Dynamite, bro.
That I see popping up, like individual arguments.
Okay.
One of them happened to be the discontinuity between the argument from reason and Jesus' resurrection, which I will explain here in a bit. But in any case, so the guy at the front line asked me to like pick my quote unquote favorite arguments, but he asked me that I don't one specific, but I will be focusing on. Well, let's not even say that. Let's just focus on the arguments. Let's start off with this.
I said let's focus on the arguments.
Okay. Can hear you.
So let's start off with I put the discontinuity between Can you remind me what I put down again? Sorry.
Okay, so yeah, and actually let me plant a flag here. So it says you think there's a different standard being used by atheists to dismiss brain and bat arguments and Jesus' resurrection. So I can tell you, I'll speak for myself. Maybe Michael dive in, speak for himself as well. So my standard is this. I think there's a lot of evidence to indicate that here in reality, I am not a brain and a bat. And I don't have any evidence in support of the I'm a brain and a bat claim. So that's why I would dismiss the brain and a bat argument. By the exact same process, I would look at Jesus resurrecting and say, I don't think that I have any reason to believe that the claim Jesus resurrected is true. I have a lot of reasons to think that it's false. So it's the same thing. It's just, what do I have evidence for? What do I not have evidence for? That's it.
Yeah, there's implicit and an empirical basis of what I'm experiencing. Whether I can claim that this is what I'm actually experiencing, I don't really have a say. I've dealt with what is in the confines, and if it's for a brain to vat, in the first place, we talk about Jesus. We're dealing within the confines of the reality we find ourselves in, and there is no implicit or empirical basis for men dying and raising from the dead, nor is there a logical entailment that if someone died and raised from the dead, that they're the Son of God and that Christianity is true. Logically follow.
Even if I was a brain and a bat, I wouldn't have any reason to think I was.
Yeah, that would. Sorry, can I? Oh, okay.
It's all you, man. Go for it.
Yeah, that's fine. Like a lack of evidence would be a different argument, but it was hard to put this one down on paper when I was trying to describe it to whoever was at the front desk. But basically, what I was trying to say was
just dive in. Huh? Just go ahead and give the argument. Just dive in.
So this person brings up this idea of Doyle's fallacy, the idea that you have to, and please correct me if there's a more accurate way of defining this, but it's the idea that it's fallacious to say that we can assume that this is the truth, this remaining possibility have eliminated all the rest of the things we can think of. Does that sound about accurate?
Yeah, let me just restate it really quickly. So it's called Doyle's fallacy because of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle being the guy who wrote the Sherlock Holmes stories. And the idea in the Sherlock Holmes stories is that he's the world's greatest detective, and that through his like super deductive reasoning capabilities, that once he's eliminated all of the other possibilities for, who committed the crime, that whatever is left remaining, no matter how improbable, must necessarily be the truth. And it works in the stories, but it doesn't work in real life because you can never know that you've eliminated all the other possibilities.
Yeah, I think it's an abductive fallacy to assume what's most likely, right, without other possibilities that would be in that case, which is what most theistic arguments are what's most likely or what best explains.
And it's a shame Matt's not here because I'm pretty sure Matt's the guy who came up with, actually termed it this.
Okay.
I could be wrong about that, but if not, then we're just going to give the credit to Matt anyway. So.
Okay. Well, for what it's worth, I did hear it from him, but
I did too.
In
So
any case,
let's keep going.
Yeah. Regarding however, wouldn't we be, in this case, the atheist would be telling us to dismiss unaccounted, unseen possibilities. In the case of Jesus' resurrection, it would be like, quote unquote, any naturalistic hypothesis. They don't necessarily.
How would you know what an unknown or unseen possibility even was?
Yeah,
you know, they're unknown and unseen.
Yeah, I just have an issue with that. The fact is that the only thing we know about Jesus resurrecting is in virtue of a claim. That's it. And so, like, do you want to apply type of reasoning to any imaginary claim we can make? To me, it's that you just have to substantiate the claim. But not even that. The problem that I have is that even if we substantiate the fact that Jesus resurrected, now, I know theists for some reason like cringe at this, but even if we establish the fact, can point out the logical contradiction in aliens raising Jesus from the dead. If you can point out that's a logical contradiction, I'm on board. But if you can't, then it could logically follow that aliens could have done that. And then therefore it does not logically follow that God is the best explanation. You can't identify the contradiction in ulterior explanations that underdetermine the claim of the Christian. I can underdetermine it as much as I want.
Yeah, so there are a lot of. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, please.
Yeah, so there were two things over there. One of them was the idea that we were clarifying about Doyle's fallacy being like, we were clarifying Doyle's fallacy, and then we were also clarifying cause of Jesus' resurrection. This would be a separate argument I actually do have regarding the specific cause, but
I'm more in favor to grant you everything that you want, right? Like I'm more in line to go minimal facts, Jesus resurrected. Let's start there because there's no logical impediment that it should be that the Christian worldview is true. That doesn't logically follow from my perspective.
Well, though, where was I?
I'm wondering if, because we are a little bit short on time, and
okay.
What I'm wondering is this: is it your position that the biblical accounts related to the resurrection of Jesus are true?
And by that, by 100% accurate, I actually hold a non-orthodox position by saying no.
Are you convinced that Jesus resurrected from the dead? Okay. Just make the case. Why would anybody believe that? Why should anybody believe that?
Well, I'm not prepared to give an argument for that whole. I mean, that's a long argument, but
no, it's not.
You're convinced, right? So like, why are you convinced that that's the case? Is all I'm asking you.
Mm-hmm. Like you guys have heard of the minimal facts.
Yeah, I granted every one of them.
Yeah.
Figure that it's more likely than not.
It's more likely that we can use an explanation of a supernatural reason than terrestrial life that we know exists, that we've seen go to other planets, that have built technology to go to other planets, right? That's to you more likely. Because to me, I don't see how you, in virtue of unestablished criterion for the supernatural, is more likely than any other thing we could posit as a natural explanation. Because it seems
that applies to any supernatural claim.
Exactly. It seems if we list these out in like an Excel spreadsheet, we got like natural potential reasons and supernatural. I could go ad infinitum on natural, and you couldn't give me a single data point of a supernatural event. Damning for the position. I don't know how anybody holds the position.
I would actually say that it would actually make something virtuous as supernatural.
The fact that it hasn't been established is virtuous?
Because then it is supernatural. It's not natural then.
So it's more virtuous to go with something that hasn't been established? Me and you have a very fringe view.
Not that it hasn't been established. Well, I mean, like, this would be ideally the case it is established. I mean, we come to, like, very unique situations, very unique events all the time.
Okay, but let
Right,
me.
we got
okay,
unique
Paulus.
events that have never, ever, ever, ever been demonstrated to be supernatural. Every single time in the history of humanity that we've gained a deeper understanding of an event, it has never once been, oh, it was supernatural, ever.
I'm not sure if we're being, well, I wanted to focus more on these other arguments in any case, but I will say that I'm not so sure we can correctly evaluate that based on this vague category of,
But what do you have to offer other than the claim in the Bible that that Jesus resurrected, right? Like you don't have anything of substance at all, nothing. You have a claim in a book. A book, essentially, it's a book says a thing. That's it. That's your starting point is a book says a thing. There's no substantiated fact of anything supernatural in any other domain of any other religion or any other belief. We don't have that. We have none of that. So for you to appeal as a virtuous explanation of something we have not established is the most fringe view you could ever have of virtuous explanations.
Yeah, if you can't bring to the table some way of demonstrating that the supernatural is a thing in the first place, then I don't know why you would feel like okay about appealing to it. Yeah, that would just feel so dishonest to me.
I've written papers on the subject, but like I'm not, like I said, I'm not fully prepared to give like a whole, demonstration on this.
But if you believe it to be true and you base your life around it, and you're telling me you can't provide something, then I'm so somebody who's never believed in Jesus or God. I don't know how that works. I'm baffled to know that any person could go, I'm super convinced of these things. And certain elements about that means that I defend slavery in some cases. And I'm not saying this about you, but this is the case for a lot of Christians, or that I can condemn gay people or trans people or do any of these things. But then when actually pressed, they're like, well, I couldn't give you anything. Then why the fuck do you believe it? I'm not trying to be rude to you, but it blows my mind that almost every conversation I have with people, it backs up into this. I can't really give it to you. If I believe in anything at all, I can substantiate the reason for why I believe in it. Provide something.
To be quite honest, I'm just nervous. Like,
no, look, I'm not trying to take away.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to like simplify it to just be like, why do you believe the resurrection happened? And we can do this with any supernatural claim in the Bible. Okay, we can do it with any claim period in the Bible, and just go, okay, why do we believe things are true? And if you can't give a reason, I don't know.
It's not under these circumstances. At least for this specific claim. I mean, I can later, but like.
Okay, let me just ask you, and I appreciate it for you saying like, look, I'm nervous. Appreciate that. My apologies if I went overboard, but can't provide independent attestation for why you believe. Then why do you believe?
Do it during other times.
But so you have independent attestation you can provide to me then.
It's weird. It's a little odd to.
First of all, I wanted to talk about other things though, but like we pushed me all the way to talking about proving that Jesus resurrected when I wanted to talk about the Doyle's fallacy.
Yo, what are you up to, bro?
Okay, I'll tell you what. In the interest of just being a freaking sweetheart, let's really quickly. We'll do the Doyle's fallacy thing, and then we're gonna wrap up the show. So, lay it out, man.
Okay. So the argument from reason, and I agree that it's better to say that we can't be 100% certain we're not a brain in the vat, right? We can't dismiss absolute certainty. Can't dismiss that remote naturalistic explanation. Doyle's fallacy is basically is making the argument that you can't make the argument that this specific explanation is probable because you're assuming that you've eliminated all the other events. Well, first off, those don't like show up like in terms of like good evidence. In terms of like coming to the best explanation of what our reality is, on one hand, we have our brain in the vat and we say, well, we probably aren't a brain in the vat. or we have no good reason to believe we're a brain in the vat. The possibility, we don't necessarily, we count that as unlikely. We don't necessarily factor it into our equation. Whereas with Jesus' resurrection, it's almost like saying we have to like
making any sense, bro.
Like disprove like unseen naturalistic hypotheses that haven't even been thought of. The way it comes from
you can't come to a conclusion. Hey, we know what's going on here with any degree of certainty when if you haven't with the Sherlock Holmes thing, right? The stories because it's written that way. But in real life, okay, if you're trying to make some sort of statement about the nature of reality, about the cause of an event, and you don't know what the possibilities even are, how are you going to ever know if you've come to the right conclusion?
100% certainty, but
I'm not talking about 100% certainty. I'm not talking about 100% certainty. Let's just go with knowledge. How can you have a justified true belief about any of this stuff?
They're the only ones that have ever risen up to, well, scrutiny or reality or possibility or a hypothesis table, if that makes any sense.
Well, I'm not sure it does, because I'm not aware of any claims in support of the resurrection of Jesus that hold up to any scrutiny. We're stuck with the book says a thing.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That would be, yeah, that's fine. But regarding this point of Doyle's fallacy, Doyle's fallacy, and that this is a different standard being applied when it comes to the argument from reason. Doyle's fallacy.
I'm not sure I understand what you mean by the argument from reason.
The brain in the vat.
Vat thing, okay. Assessing the evidence for a claim like, I am a brain in a vat, okay? We're talking about the question of belief. We're talking about things like knowledge, all right? Again, I'm just going right back to the beginning of the call. I don't have any reason to think that the claim, I'm a brain in a vat, is true. So,
yeah,
I'm not coming to the conclusion saying I am definitively not a brain in a vat. I don't have any reason to think that's the case. Lots of reasons to think that I'm not a brain in a vat. So I'm not saying, I am not guilty definitively, with any degree of certainty. I don't even think that like certainty in the way that I think we're talking about is possible. So I'm not sure how Doyle's fallacy applies to the brain in a vat thing. Talking about what's reasonable to believe.
Doyle's fallacy would quote unquote apply because you're not sure if there's another explanation that would demote another realm of reality.
Maybe there is. Maybe there is. Do I have any reason to think that's the case? No, I'm over here. I'm withholding judgment here, man. I'm not making claims of certainty with respect to whether or not I'm a brain in a vat. I'm saying, limited to what my senses tell me, I appear to exist here in reality. All I can do is engage with this reality that I find myself in. As far as I know, I don't have any reason to think that I'm a brain in a vat, or in any other state of suspended animation somewhere. It appears to be the case that I'm here in reality. That's it. That's where the claim ends.
Mm-hmm. Good.
So I'm not ruling out other possibilities that I could be unaware of.
So, thanks for that. Regarding Jesus' resurrection, if we haven't any naturalistic explanation that can account for the data, and maybe we have, but let's just say, for example, that we haven't. Could it be the case then by process of elimination? Not elimination like in the 100% sense.
We have a process of elimination where the supernatural is now warranted when we've never warranted it. Why is it now warranted now?
And let's just be really honest. Let's be honest about what we're talking about with respect to data here. We've got a book says a thing. Our data.
Well, I would have to disagree about that. But
hold on. I gotta stop you there. How are you gonna disagree with that? Kenneth made a point. The book says a thing, right? I can hand you a biology book, and the book says a thing, right? It can say allele frequencies change over time in a population. That's evolution. It can say that. It can say that thing. What's different about that thing being said is there's independent attestation.
Right.
When we go and look at a population and we say, oh, hey, allele frequencies change over time in a population. There's an independent reason outside of the claims of the book. That's the task that's before you, because if you just have the book, anybody can write anything. You're now committed to like a murder writing in a diary that I didn't murder the person, therefore it's true. There's no evidence.
It's simple. What is there outside of the Bible that confirms the resurrection?
Well, okay, so you've got Tacitus, Josephus, Pliny the Younger, and stuff like that. But in any case, regarding
what do they say about the resurrection? What is the most favorable thing that any of those sources, that none of which are contemporary with Jesus, what are those sources? What's the most favorable thing? Sources that say his followers believed that he was the Messiah,
which was Pliny the Younger, and that's addressed to an emperor. He doesn't say anything that, oh, hey, this is the thing that bothers me about.
You're not going to find anything about resurrection in that stuff.
Yeah, when you talk about Pliny the Younger, he's giving like a letter to an emperor, from my understanding, talking about how to deal with Christians at the time. It's not like, oh, hey, here's this. I watched Jesus resurrect.
So let's just be honest about this. What do we have outside of a book says a thing for the resurrection?
Like I'm not objecting to the ultimate fact that contained within book form, and you have a claim right there. I'm just contesting the colloquial use of the term that kind of carries a lot of baggage with it. You know, like it's almost as if to say that some dude decides to write it like in the middle of nowhere, and like
it's not about that, what the circumstances are about why it was written, right? It's just the fact that all you have is what is written about a claim. It's just a claim. It doesn't have anything independent of attestation, right? Fine. Which by the way, there's a worse issue. There's an even worse issue, and it has.
There's an S at the end.
Well, there's a worse issue about interpretation, right? What you read about the Bible and you interpret, you can't start from the fact alone that we should take it literally or metaphorically, or what this verse means, what that verse means. There's another issue of something you haven't independently justified, which is, how do you know that the interpretation at which you take reading about God's utterances actually align with his intentions and desires? Now, everybody does this from their own assumed interpretive principle. So most atheists just grant this, but there's so many more problems than just, is there independent attestation for the claim? It's, is there independent attestation that your interpretive principle that you are even applying about the claim is even in line with God's divine utterances? Because
Mike, how you do that to this point?
Man, I'm just saying a speaker can mean anything. There's just a nest of problems that cannot.
Yeah.
Whether we
break, and I'm gonna come back up and try to whip out this underpainting. I'm gonna look at this for a minute, but I think I'm done.
And then to go even further. I mean, yeah, like we could spend all day breaking down the layers on layers on layers of why believing that the resurrection happened is problematic.
I don't like that test. See, already.
Right.
I see something.
Yeah, and we're over time, but I appreciate the call. I would strongly urge you to think honestly and critically about whether you've got good reasons to believe something like the resurrection happened. And hopefully you can see that there are not different evidentiary standards being used here. It's all the same. We're just trying to follow the evidence where it goes.
Swing to savings with Liberty Mutual.
All right, let's see.
Good evening and welcome to the God Debate. My name is Malcolm Phelan, and together with Joseph Stanfield, Arnav Dutt, Mike Ray, and the Dean's Fellows, we've organized the debate that you're about to see. Now, whether you're here tonight to hear an exchange of views, an enlightening discussion, or just a good show, I know you're not here to hear a long speech from an undergraduate, so I will keep this short. First, allow me to recognize those in the Notre Dame community who made this debate possible. The God Debate 2 was sponsored by the Institute for Scholarship in the Liberal Arts and the Henkel's Lecture Series, with additional generous support by the College of Arts and Letters, the College of Science, and the College of Business, Campus Ministry, the Classics Department, the History Department, the Program of Liberal Studies, and Chemistry, the Center for Civil and Human Rights, ILS, and the Department of German and Russian, the Center for Philosophy of Religion, the Center for Undergraduate Scholarly Engagement, the Rooney Center for American Democracy, the Glynn Family Honors Program, and Learning Beyond the Classroom. Finally, I would just like to read a quick passage that beautifully sums up the reason why we are here tonight. Kenneth Burke writes this in the Philosophy of Literary Form. Imagine that you enter a parlor. You come late. When you arrive, others have long preceded you, and they are engaged in a heated discussion. A discussion too heated for them to pause and tell you exactly what it is about. In fact, the discussion had already begun long before any of them got there, so that no one present is qualified to retrace for you all the steps that had gone before. You listen for a while until you decide that you've caught the tenor of the argument, and then you put in your order. Someone answers, you answer him. Another comes to your defense. Another aligns himself against you, to either the embarrassment or gratification of your opponent, depending on the quality of your ally's assistance. However, the discussion is interminable. It goes late, and you must depart. And you do depart, with the discussion still vigorously in progress. Please join me in welcoming two more to our discussion. Harris and William Lane Craig.
Yo, she said somebody. Sorry, boo. She said somebody hacked her Facebook too.
Wow.
Hope you're doing well. My page got hacked. This is my page. But it won't let this go away for some reason. I said I answered.
Because you aren't friends.
My name is Michael Ray. I'm a professor.
No, not with her new profile. I don't think I was friends with her old profile.
Yeah, so she's coming up like a, a stranger. That's how it's supposed to come up.
Yeah, but even though I thought like after you message somebody one time, those options should just
unless it might have, she just might be in your spam and you have to move her out your spam. Sometimes it automatically does that.
And sponsoring the God Debate series is to try to bring some of the very
issues you are getting on my last nerve. Move.
Non-academic audience in a format that will hopefully be fun and engaging. Our show tonight, as you already know, is a debate between William Lane Craig and Sam Harris.
I'm saying it's finished, like I said, I need to just fill it out a little bit. Look at it for a little while. I really might do go over the background one more time.
William Lane Craig is research professor of philosophy at Talbot School of Theology.
In the photo, it's kind of hard to tell, but it really doesn't look right. It looks like her hair should come down behind her hair. In a photograph, it doesn't look like her hair is there, but
the wider public is someone who is able to articulate and defend the doctrines of the Christian faith in a way that is highly accessible, but also philosophically and theologically.
Yeah, really, it's not. It's just.
He became a Christian at the age of 16, pursued undergraduate studies at Wheaton College, and holds 2 earned doctorates, one in philosophy from the University of Birmingham, and one in theology from the University of Munich. Or edited
let's knock this shit out right here.
As well as over 100 articles in professional journals of philosophy and theology. Known as one of the 4 horsemen of the new atheist movement, Sam Harris is the author of the
I know my sociology teacher hate me because I can't wait to talk about some black shit. First time they give me a chance.
2005 Penn in over 15 languages. He and his work have been discussed in Newsweek, Time,
you and them pistachios,
Scientific American, Nature, Rolling Stone, and many other journals. He has appeared in Newsweek, the New York Times, the Los Angeles Times, The Economist, the Times Sun, the Boston Globe, the Atlantic, the Annals of Neurology.
Is it in here?
Mr. Harris is a co-founder and CEO of Project Reason, a nonprofit foundation devoted to spreading scientific knowledge and secular values in society.
All right.
He received a degree in philosophy from Stanford University
Can
and a
I
PhD
save
in neuroscience.
and use some of these covers?
The structure of tonight's debate will be as follows. Each debater will take 20 minutes for his opening speech, followed by rebuttals of 12 minutes and 8 minutes respectively, and then closing speeches of 5 minutes each. At the conclusion of the debate, we will have about 30 minutes for questions from the audience. If you would like to ask a question, line up behind one of the 2 microphones in front or in the balcony. We're letting Notre Dame students ask the first 4 questions tonight, so if you are not a Notre Dame student and somehow find yourself at the front of the Q&A line, please allow a student to go ahead of you. Time will be kept strictly. There is a timekeeper in the front who can be seen by both speakers, and once each speaker's time has elapsed, he will be given at most 15 seconds to finish his final sentence before being rudely interrupted by me, the time enforcer. Because we are keeping the time strict, we ask you to hold all applause and other indications of agreement or disagreement, cheering, crowd surfing, and the like, until the very end of the debate. Please remember that flash photography, videotaping, and active cell phones are all prohibited. Finally, remember that Notre Dame is the world's #1 institution in the philosophy of religion and also has one of the world's best theology departments. Any questions you don't get to ask
a little bit of green right there.
Q&A, you can ask at your
So this
local
might make the
faculty.
background around her head just all
Now
green.
on with the show.
That's a pretty color.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want food back?
In a
Wait.
minute.
Well, good evening. It's wonderful to be here at the University of Notre Dame, and I want to begin by thanking.
Fish and grits.
There's no more grits left. I can make
We're
you
going to
some
begin
homemade
each
fries.
speech with me checking with the timekeeper to make sure that he's ready. And then the timekeeper is going
You
to
ate all the grits.
and then you get to go.
All right.
So you go when I say begin.
Sorry for jumping the gun.
Professor Craig gets the first word in the debate. Dr. Harris gets the last word. Timekeeper, are you ready? This is 20 minutes.
Oh my!
Again.
Okay, stop yawning.
I want to begin by thanking the Center for Philosophy of Religion for the invitation to participate in tonight's debate. The question of the correct foundation of morality is one that is not
Of the
only of
correct
tremendous
foundation.
academic
What is the
interest,
correct
but also
foundation? That's
one
an
that has
opinion
enormous
already.
practical application for our lives. Now, to begin with an important point of agreement.
Today I'm going to show you how to find these dash
watching this shit at work
shapes in
all
Canva,
day,
and
bro.
also I'm going to
Some
walk you
days.
through the steps on how to create
Her voice
these
is so
dash
soft. She's
outline
Her
on your
is-
subject.
It's
and
her
what to
and then
do
the
every
other
single
dude with
thing
like
in
the slim
Canva.
face.
So
They
if
be
you
like
guys are interested in this
the main
tutorial,
two people
let's
for
go
Canva.
to my computer.
I like her. If you're
Yeah.
interested in this tutorial, let's
That's
begin.
They're not just like people do it like they
this
work for
tutorial,
Canva.
which
Yeah.
I'm going to show you how to find these dash basic shapes in
Well, what are
Canva.
they, like French or something?
Nah, she's like Indian. It's her and this guy like he's
So you can use
another
any
one. I
of
watch
the
a
books
lot
that's
of his shit.
available in
But she
Canva.
has
I'm
like
going
a
to open
serious
a
accent.
presentation
She
now
speaks
for
perfectly
this
fine, but
example. And now inside of the Canva
They
editor,
said make
let's
dotted
go to
outlines going around the
elements.
picture.
Here we're going to type
I don't know how to do that.
dash and hit enter. Here all these
I need to get on that
search
Divi
results
website and look up their tutorials too. Oh my god, so much fucking shit.
Line. All of these shapes are available for free in Canva, and if we go down, we will start seeing some shapes that are available for Canva Pro users. But I would say that we
It's always for Canva Pro users.
shapes available for free with this dashed line. And now let's go to the second part of this tutorial, in which I'm going to show you all the steps on how to create this dash outline in Canva. But before, I would like to read you my favorite comment of the week, which is from Lori Hatcher. She said, "Thanks so much for your generous time and excellent help. I'm really happy to see your comment, Lori, and thank you so much for the good vibe. I really enjoyed creating this video with Ronnie because we were able to gather all your questions into just one video, and we answered all the common questions regarding to Canva website. So if you guys are interested, you can watch that video.
I like the cartoons better.
Over here. And now let's continue with the second part of this tutorial.
I'm gonna finish watching, of course, but.
And before going to the second part of this tutorial, I would like to give credit to Queen. This is her YouTube channel, and she has very cute Canva tutorials, all in Vietnamese, I think, and I hope that I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I actually googled it, and
it's funny though. Episode 3,
and I'm giving credit to Queen. As you know, I love to go to the Canva Design Circle. This is Canva's official Facebook group, and I saw this tutorial, which I found very useful. And I also love the aesthetic of having this dashed line or dashed outline around a subject. So I took a couple of tips from her tutorial and I'm including them into this video. So let's go to our Canva editor. I already have the photo that I want to use for this tutorial in the uploads section. So here it is, my photo. Here you can follow two different paths to create this dashed outline. The first one that I'm going to show you is going to be using a Canva free account, and we are going to end up with very similar results. And the second one is using one of the Canva Pro tools that is going to guide us or make this process a little bit simple, but either way it's going to be the same. So let's start. Let's go to elements, and here let's go to lines and shapes. See all. Here I'm going to select the second option. We have our dashed line already on our design, but first I would like to already decide what kind of thickness I want to have on this dashed line. So I'll be using the weight feature or the weight button that we see here and increase it until I see something that I'm happy with. So I think this one is going to be okay with what I want.
Alright, I'm doing my snack.
You ain't got no choice, dude.
That's the only thing too about the live action. The movie is nowhere near good as this shit, yo. Like every scene in this show has like hella good music.
Yeah, they didn't have all the music. That was weird. Oh, but they did have the dog.
Iron.
Yes.
They stole. They stole him from Hakeem.
Mm-hmm. And he's so cute.
You don't work, you don't eat. You're a hunting dog.
They did him dirty. Did them dirty on that one.
We have to be pampered because we're delicate and refined.
I keep remembering I can't ruin nothing for you because you've already seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, they're taking a lot of different episodes and kind of meshing them together and changing the characters up a little bit, but
yeah,
it's still the same.
This part with the chick, but definitely the dog, and they went and tried to go get him, and then he was like, I don't want to hurt the dog. I wanted to hurt the dog, but I don't want to hurt the dog.
Don't be dead.
Yeah, they thought Iron wasn't nothing special. It's a motherfucking science dog somewhere, some genetically engineered fucking super smart dog.
Right. Little dude. I didn't know that.
It's giraffe. All right.
But when I first read it, I'm like, That's a weird way to spell Ian. And it's
Ein,
dumbass.
like Einstein.
Einstein.
And Ed's real name is Edvard Applestein something something the third or some shit.
What the fuck?
Yo, Ed got a long ass fucking name, yo.
Oh, who'd have guessed evidence of jet flag? Well, when the hell did you blow in?
How about you? You're looking pretty cheery. What happened? Did you catch a nice big one? I had no idea you were a fan of the blues, Fatty.
You kidding me? I listened to the blues when I was still in my father's sack, if you know what I mean.
Sorry. Hey.
The music, yo. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. Well.
Give it back now!
Hey, you! Wake up! Hey! Ah, great. You die and I lose the reward.
Don't be fooled by him. By the way he looks.
Don't talk! Try to stay alive!
Not me. He needs help now. Help him. The stone.
Wait!
All right.
I can't be sure until I run all the tests, but this may be worth a hefty sum. So what do you want to do with it?
I have no idea. The guy gives it to me on his own, then he dies on his own. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't keep it.
There is no reason.
I ain't still that
You're
shit.
not responsible for that kid after all.
This thing is gonna pay for our food. Our food, not yours.
You know, I think your heart's made out of lead.
Not like me, I'm a nice guy. I have a gift for you.
Yay! All right, what is it? An official invoice. An invoice for what?
All the expenses you've racked up since you've been on our ship. And thanks for your business.
Yeah, great. Anytime.
Why do you want to know about this dead guy?
Well,
So you were after Giraffe, too. You get a deal?
Enjoy the sweets.
I always do. There's no bounty in it, you know.
Yeah, that's right. There's nothing to gain here at all. No, I mean it. There's nothing on the line here.
Yeah, right, Jet. You're gonna owe me one for today. All right. You know that kid on the Blues Harp the other day named Win? Giraffe was after the kid's so-called father, an old friend. He goes by the name Zebra.
They were friends?
Geez, you didn't even know that? The two of them were the leaders of the Self-Defense Volunteer Squad. They worked together until about 10 years ago.
I don't get it. Why was he after an old copper?
10 years ago, they had a confrontation with some space raiders. Dispute. It all came down at some R&D facility near Mars. A few days later, the raiders are wiped out, Zebra's missing, and Giraffe is found blindfolded in a silo. They say Zebra double-crossed him so he could run the squad solo. Later, Zebra turns up in a wheelchair with the kid. Guess it didn't turn out the way he planned.
So the bottom line is Giraffe was killed off over some internal politics.
Betrayal may come easily to women, but men live by iron codes of honor.
You believe that?
I'm trying to real hard.
I'm trying to real hard.
The Books Company has something for everyone on your holiday gift list. Like flowers that stay fresher longer,
Got
plus
some
plants,
colors on
wreaths,
there.
gift sets, and more. Want to keep happiness blooming even after the holidays? Check out our fresh flower subscription. Shop it all at Books.com.
I agree. So just briefly, you jump in there, Eddie. Let me tell you what my deep research and basically vision is.
Okay.
And vision just means you're like things crystallize, epiphany. To talk about 12 dimensions, 11 known, 12 being omnipresent, so we don't say it actually exists. To say that is arrogant, so I won't say that. But I have had dreams my whole life that come true. And the weirdest thing, like a lady drops a thing of pickles at the store. For 5 years I have the dream, and then one day I'm there and it's the woman in the pickles bring. Or I walk around the corner.
When was this?
Particularly when I was a kid, it was more intense.
That is fucking crazy. So for 5 years you had the same dream, and then one day it happened?
Yes.
Was it exactly how you dreamt it?
Yes.
Fuck.
For about 6 months I had a dream of a guy in a purple and green striped shirt. And I'm like, why am I walking? Because it's not like normal dreams. It's like you've been taken over. You always get vomit after you.
Lucid, like a lucid dream.
Lucid dream. And I'm walking around like, why am I behind a building? And all of a sudden there's some dude in a purple and green striped shirt and he attacks me. And 6 months later, it happens. And I mean, it happens exactly. So
what do you think is going on? All thoughts of yourself aside, just look at it objectively. What do you think that is?
You could say that it's human programming and basic programming in the brain.
Do you think you're tapping into a timeline that maybe you can't access all the time?
Well, that's what I know it is. I was trying to be...
One of the reasons why you can rant and rave and when you spew out information the way you do, which is very impressive. The way you can talk about things. For 3 hours straight, get 6 excited hours about straight. things. You do the majority of your programs entirely by yourself. No teleprompter.
But I agree with you. It's not like I'm telling you,
This
look at
is,
this.
you're doing something unusual. Do you
But that's it.
understand that?
I'm not even doing it. It's like a river's going by. There's a turtle, there's a fish, there's a log. That's why it's like random. Like, what is this? What is that exactly?
Right, but that's how you communicate. That's like in the beginning of the thing we were talking about Sandy Hook. I kept trying to slow you down. I was like, I'm not following you down this river. You just hit this one rock. I want to talk about this rock. I want to talk about the next rock. But you just keep going. The way you think about things is you're chaining one thing to the next thing to the next thing to the next thing. And for people who are not thinking the way you're thinking, it can be exhausting. Like you're trying to follow.
Well, sure, it
what
doesn't
you're
even mean
saying.
I'm right about it all. I'm only seeing like the code.
But I'm wondering, because of the fact you're telling me that you had these dreams that came true exactly the way you dreamt them. I know you're not full of shit. You're not a liar. I've known you for a long time. If that really did happen to you, if this is your real life experience, I want to know what the fuck that is. Are you on the periphery You have your finger on a membrane that maybe other people can't totally touch, where occasionally, just occasionally, you get a little peek through and you get to see the other side. Even if it's only once or twice in your life. Who's to say that what you're experiencing by being able to see these things that manifest themselves realistically in the future, that this isn't what human beings will have 5 years from now or 100 years from now?
Well, sure, exactly.
Right?
We think of like a cell phone being magic, hunters.
We think we're all the same. That's the thing. We think we're all the same, but we're not all the same. We're not all the same in our ability to talk. You can talk for a lot longer about a lot of different things than I do. Eddie Bravo can talk about jiu-jitsu better than both of us, and he's a musician. Sorry, you and I both suck at music, right? So there's certain things that people can do that you can't do.
Let me try to describe it. And they'll use this against me, but notice they don't touch it because it's their whole religion and they can't stand up talking about it. By the time I was like 3 years old, I would have this dream that God has. Because God knows everything, is just super intelligent, omnipresent, unlimited dimensions, but God doesn't know where God came from. So just like we're trying to find out where we came from, God is like a virtual reality simulation as well. And God is constantly running every program, every operation, turning evil loose, good loose, everything. So I would have these dreams. But the earliest memories, like 2, 3 years old, where I would fly out to the edge of infinity, and it was a continual message. Find out where we came from, find out what it is, and it would just be this big, giant, spinning black vortex, like a black hole. And then I would have to go into that, trying to figure out what was going on, and it was the same thing. And so it's this incredible frustration. So then growing up and dealing with things and questioning politics and questioning all these other areas, and then having dreams that come true exactly, and like knowing what's going to happen before it happens, and then questioning it, and then it never being wrong, like weird, not bright, like crazy stuff, man. Like just so much stuff where it becomes like you can't even deal with it. You like dial it out, and then you just reach that point where.
Ask, I answer. I got a message maybe a week or so ago from a listener to the show, Maddie, who wanted me to view and debunk some viral TikTok by a pro-abortion lady. I have not watched the TikTok yet. I am eager with anticipation to knock down the lies of the pro-abortion movement. Now, before we get started, this video is sponsored by Dwell. Dwell is the 5-star app that makes it easy to get into the Bible by providing a world-class listening experience. More from them later on. For now, let's get into the crazy TikTok arguments.
All right, I have an analogy for y'all. Let's go. So say you're driving and you run a red light, or you miss a stop sign. You cause an accident. Due to that accident, a life is at stake. That person that you hit requires a kidney transplant, and you are a match. Should you be legally required to give them your kidney? Think about it. Now, parallel situation. 2 people have sex and an accident occurs, pregnancy. Because of that accident, a life is at risk. I have many videos describing the medical definition.
Pause it here for a second. Obviously, this is an imprecise analogy that she's making, but it doesn't work as an analogy because of the particulars, but also because of the premise. If you're driving and you get into a car accident, something has gone wrong. The purpose of driving is to get from point A to point B safely, and if you follow all of the rules, you will do that. The purpose is not to get into the accident. The purpose of sexual intercourse, the telos, the logical end of sexual intercourse, is procreation. That is for making babies. And so the accident that you call it is not because something has gone wrong in sexual intercourse, it's because something has gone right. And so obviously the rest of the analogy I think falls apart too. But even at its most basic premise, it doesn't work. The car accident is when something goes wrong when you're driving. Procreation, the conception of a baby, is when something goes right when you're doing that thing that only married people are supposed to do. Okay, go on.
And how that life doesn't exist until week 24. We're taking away that entire argument right now to even show you that when we consider it a life, where the medical ethics laws.
Hold on, pause right there. So she said she tried to slip that in. She said a life doesn't exist until week 24. No one has ever held that to be true. Scientifically, that's obviously preposterous.
This is bullshit.
even historically, even if you're going to make some argument that about quickening or ensoulment, or even before we had modern medical technology, say let's use the physics of Aristotle, where it was unclear when the signs of life begin, just because they didn't have sonograms, for instance, in the olden days. Now we do. Even then, no one said that life doesn't begin until week 24. What happens at week 24 that doesn't happen at week 23 in 6 days, or week 23 and 5 days? You might say that a person doesn't have worth until week 24.
You are worthless, Eric Barrett!
Or until 1 year old or 2 years old, or whatever you want to say. But you can't say it's not life. The moment, and now we know this, forget about old Uncle Aristotle for a second, we now know this because of modern medical science. The moment that the sperm and the egg meet, almost instantaneously, those two separate organic things disappear, and there is a new organic thing made with that genetic material that has unique genetic material and all of the signs of life, including growth, which begins instantaneously. So we're all supposed to follow the science these days and just trust the scientists and everything. The science is absolutely clear.
Yes, science!
Life begins at conception. You might not want to protect life at conception. You might say that certain life is not worth protecting. You might say that people don't deserve to be protected from murder until they're 24 weeks old, or 40 weeks old, or 2 years old, or 3 years old, and you can make some moral argument, or I think an immoral argument, but you can try to make that argument. The one thing you can't say is that it's not life. It manifestly is life, and specifically it's a human life. It's not a platypus, it's not a giraffe, it's not a fish, it's a human being. Okay, go on.
So, due to the accident, a life is at stake. The use of an organ is required in order to save, develop, grow, sustain, whatever you want to classify it as, that life that's at stake. So how is it different when a kidney is required to save a life, or a uterus is required to grow a life? Because medical ethics laws clearly sides with the owner of that organ.
So if I give my kidney to someone, which is that's a wonderful thing to do for somebody, I no longer have the kidney. Whether you do murder your baby or you don't murder your baby, you're still going to have your uterus, right? It's not as though you're giving your uterus to someone. Even notice the language that she uses here. She says, I own my uterus, as if her body parts are somehow different than she is. It's some sort of other than she is, like I own my hands. This is now very common language with the transgender movement. You'll say you're a uterus owner or a ovary owner or something. To me, that is the crazy extreme conclusion of individualism, of capitalism, of consumerism, of whatever ism you want to say, rather than recognize that your soul and your body are one thing. Your body, mind, and spirit are one thing, inextricably linked while we're on this earth. You're just looking at yourself as a commodity. You are looking at yourself literally as just meat, as a meat puppet.
I am a meat popsicle.
And you own that meat. But I think it's very simple, or it's very easy to fall into the error that she's falling into, of believing that you have no connection to your own child, that you have no obligation or duty to your own child. It's easy to fall into that error if you don't believe that you have any duty or obligation or unity even with your own body. This is the kind of crazy conclusion of my body, my choice. But the error begins even before you start to think about your other baby, which is why she's thinking of the baby as some kind of enemy or some kind of parasite, rather than what the baby is, which is a baby. And a baby loves his mother, and a mother has obligations and loves her baby. Here's a little trivia question. What is both the best-selling book of all time and the best-selling book each and every year?
The Bible.
This is an easy one. This is a gimme. It is the Bible. Has been for a long time and still is today. We all know, even those who are agnostic, even those who are atheists, often they'll know that the Bible is the wisest book ever written.
No, it's not.
It has stood the test of time. It is the font of Western civilization, and yet people don't take a lot of time to read it. People don't have time to read much of anything at all. So
about
this is where
slavery
Dwell
and
comes
genocide
in. Dwell is this
and
terrific
raping
app
and pillaging
that will
of
allow you to
virgins
listen to
and talking
the Bible.
animals.
You can pull up a bunch of different versions. The King James Version, obviously, I love the King James Version. It's very beautiful language. The English Standard Version. They've got 12 different narrators, each with a unique accent. The NIV, the NKJV, the ESV,
Oh,
the KJV,
not the
and a bunch of
narrated
versions.
Bible.
Really great way to get into the Bible to listen to it. Go to dwellapp.io/Knowles to try Dwell free for 7 days. If you fall in love with that, which I'm sure you will, they're giving all of our listeners early access to the Black Friday sale. Go to dwellapp.io/Knowles. Try Dwell for free for 7 days. Begin your journey rediscovering wisdom and truth in the Bible. All right, go on.
See the slippery slope and imagine a world in which your bodily autonomy can be ignored and your rights to ownership over your organ is ignored. And you...
Pause it. There are two errors here. The most obvious one is your baby is not an organ. Your baby is not your organ. I guess your baby has organs, but they're his own organs. Your baby is not one of your organs. Okay?
Yeah, but
so
the
you
baby,
don't have
her argument is the baby needs my organs to grow and survive.
Moreover, you don't have total autonomy.
That's what I'm saying. That's the argument. And I don't want this baby to use my uterus to sustain life, so take it out my body.
You have certain obligations. There is a transcendent moral order.
That's her approach to it. She's pro-choice, and she's saying it like
abortion people say it is absolutely immoral.
It's literally my body. This baby needs my body to survive, and I don't like that.
Well, either way you come down on that debate, you're acknowledging that there is a moral order, and you have some obligations to that moral order. And so her radical bodily autonomy stuff is bunk. It can't continue to exist if you're acknowledging the existence of an objective morality outside of your own wishes and will. Okay.
You have your bodily autonomy stripped from you, and the use of your organ is no longer your choice. And see when we parallel it to a situation like a kidney, which is gender and sex neutral, and that's a scenario that everyone can find themselves in. Now think about whether the rights that you have to your organ, how you would feel if they were removed, and how the use of your organ is no longer your decision. What kind of world is that, and how is that not a human rights violation?
How is that not a human rights violation? So we've pointed out that her analogy doesn't really make sense, but I'll take it even further than that. If your kid needed an organ, if your kid needed a kidney or part of your liver or something like that, something that wouldn't kill you but would save your kid's life, would you give it to your kid? Of course you would. Of course you would. Any parent who is not a sociopath would give his or her life for his or her child.
Thank you.
Every single one. You can tell that this woman does not have a baby because she's spouting this kind of ignorance, but of course you would. Of course you would. She's looking at this issue primarily from the vantage of rights and entitlement and what's mine. And even if my helpless little vulnerable baby needs something from me, even something that won't kill me, won't cause me great harm, even something like just being allowed to grow and gestate for 9 months and not being murdered along the way, I'm not going to do that because I have my rights, darn it.
I thought this was America.
And no one, including my helpless little baby, can take those rights from me. How about you cut it out with the rights for a little bit?
I mean, she is like spazzing, but like, bro, it's her body. Like, both of y'all are
loyalty.
And that's the thing. I understand both sides of the argument, and that's why this is one I really just choose to stay out of.
Crazy.
I just say pro-choice, and then hey, take it from there.
Thank you for sending in that video.
I definitely
my crazy TikToks. Don't start taking out uteruses out and then giving them to other people.
Like you said, you can go on birth control. You get your tubes tied. You can do adoption. Be abstinent. Exactly. Condoms. There's like so many different ways to prevent, other than say, "Oh, I'm pregnant. Let's go kill the baby."
I mean, right, like, you just want to take your uterus
Cover
out?
all
Like,
your
just
holiday
go on a
shopping with the
5-year
Mix
birth
Company.
control, girl.
Shop farm fresh flowers, plants, gifts,
So
and
then once again, but then when it does happen and it's not planned and it may not be with the right person and this and that, and the woman says, "No, hey, I really think I may not want to go through with this," and then I can see that too. It's like,
But then that's the thing, like, it's her body, but what if the man says, "Yo, I want the baby"?
Well, you know, the jury here.
I know that's why I want to get into the arguments. Like, it's just, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna always side with the woman because that's her body.
It's her body, but I feel like if the man wants the baby, she should keep it.
That's what happened.
Because both of y'all laid down and took that chance.
Yeah.
Women always want men to step up. But then if you make a baby and he wants it, it's just fuck him.
Yeah.
I wrote a column saying I thought this would either be a hung jury.
Men are always getting the short end of the stick, so who gives a fuck what the man thinks?
From the outset. I mean, the prosecution witnesses gave testimony for the defense. And ultimately, I think that the prosecution had very little credibility with this jury. It said that the jury would see things that it didn't see. It said that it would show that That Rittenhouse chased Rosenbaum down the street and shot him in the back. That was untrue. All of that stuff undermined the prosecution. So the outcome was not surprising. But what's troubling is that the verdict doesn't seem to matter. That you have leading politicians denouncing this verdict. And I'm not sure what they expected from this jury. The standard here is very clear. Now, some of these politicians say we have to change self-defense law. Oh, right, well, we'll have that debate. But you can't expect a jury to ignore the existing law, and that's what they refused to do. There was a reasonable doubt as to whether he was acting without this belief that he would be harmed. And he used force after he was attacked. And a lot of those facts simply weren't reported in the coverage leading up to this trial, at least not in a full sense.
You know, Professor, you're so right on that. I want to bring your attention to the prosecution. You talked about the way that they conducted themselves in this trial. They also changed their legal strategy mid-trial, which is something I've never seen before. But as a criminal defense attorney, can you talk about the violations of the Constitution that happened in the middle of this trial and what should be done to these prosecutors? I know that they have immunity, but this was something that civil libertarians have been complaining about for a while, and we saw it in the middle of this trial.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I thought it was breathtaking. You know, when the prosecutor Binger referred to the silence of the defendant, my hair caught on fire as a criminal defense attorney. So did the judge, of course, reacted entirely appropriately. There's a long line of cases saying you can't do that. There's some small exceptions for talking about the silence of a defendant before arrest, before Miranda. But what Binger was doing has been viewed as unconstitutional for decades. But you also had a lot of other, not just blunders, but serious violations, withholding of evidence. Everything seemed to be improvisational with the prosecution. They would get facts wrong. In some cases, the prosecution seemed to be learning facts with the jury. I mean, all of it was just a very curious exercise. They ignored a court ruling as well. Some aspects.
Professor, they ignored a court ruling from the judge. The judge gave them specific instructions of what not to do, and he just blew right through the judge, and the judge admonished them as well.
Oh, yeah, I mean, the thing is, everyone was talking about, oh my gosh, this judge got so upset. I've been in front of judges who would have just held the prosecutor in contempt. Right. I mean, and a lot of judges would have dismissed that trial. I think this judge wanted to go to verdict, wanted to bring closure to the case, and ultimately the jury did precisely that. But what's really, I think, alarming is how much has changed with this case. There was a time when politicians uniformly, almost like a mantra, said the jury has spoken, we can disagree with it, but we have to respect it. Instead, you have President Biden, when he was a candidate, coming out within a couple of days, calling the defendant a white supremacist. He then came out after this verdict and said that he was angry. Those are things that just fuel the rage.
The president said he was angry about this shit? Oh my God.
Addicted to rage. And, you know, you can't have doubt. You know, rage doesn't allow doubt. And so you have all of these figures on television in the last 24 hours just fueling this distemper in our country.
Jonathan, I think we've become a country addicted to lies as well, and the lies continued after the verdict. Let's just take a look at a few. Here's Congresswoman Cori Bush. She says, the judge, the jury, the defendant, it's white supremacy in action. The governor of California, Gavin Newsom, you can break the law, carry around weapons built for a military, shoot and kill people and get away with it. That's the message we've just sent to armed vigilantes across the nation. Former governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, which it's worth noting now does not have governmental immunity for his words. Today's verdict is a stain on the soul of America. I bring up immunity not for that specific statement by Andrew Cuomo, but to turn our attention to defamation. In your estimation, does Kyle Rittenhouse have a viable, strong case for defamation against, I don't know, CNN, MSNBC, multiple personalities, and perhaps Joe Biden as a private citizen, because his statement was made calling Rittenhouse a white supremacist before he was president of the United States?
Well, first of all, with regard to Governor Cuomo, I expect he wants impartial justice when he faces criminal charges in court. So I doubt he would want this form of mob justice that he's advocating for applied to his own case. But in terms of defamation, it's going to be challenging. People, I think, are saying that this is a lead pipe cinch of a case. When people called Rittenhouse a white supremacist, that's not true. I mean, the thing is, it's difficult to bring a defamation case on terms like that. It was difficult even for Sandman. Those types of charges were thrown out in the Sandman case because courts viewed it as, those counts, I should say, were thrown out because courts view it as opinion. It's false. It's outrageous. What President Biden said was reckless and irresponsible. But courts give really wide berth to people commenting on cases of major public interest. Now, that doesn't mean that there might not be defamation here. There's a lot of different statements that were made, and I certainly agree that he was really injured and treated unfairly by the media. But I don't want people to assume that this is going to be as easy as has been suggested. It's going to be a very difficult effort, at least with being called a white supremacist. There were other very factual misstatements or false statements made that they can pursue. This is a target-rich environment because the media got this story so wrong. Right. And so I think they're going to have to sort of filter through these and see what is actionable, what's not. He has 1 to 2 years, usually for a defamation case, to bring it under the statute of limitations.
Get the Peloton app by November 21st, and it's free for the rest of the year. With the Peloton app, take yoga, strength, running, and more on your TV, phone, and tablet. Download the Peloton app and get started for free today.
Friday, switch from regular you to best looking you with GlassesUSA.com.
I played around with their virtual try-on and found these frames. I never thought I could buy prescription glasses online. I got this pair for only $38, and the shipping was free. They changed the way I shop.
All you have to do is go online and choose from thousands of styles, including brands like Ray-Ban, Oakley, Michael Kors, and more. Go to GlassesUSA.com now and enjoy 65% off your first order and more limited time Black Friday deals.
When my child was invited to a sleepover, how was I to know there was a felon in the house? I logged on to truthfinder.com for a background report to avoid a possibly dangerous situation.
Go to truthfinder.com.
There's a felon over there. Her uncle went to jail in 2014 for weed.
DeSantis gave a speech yesterday, press conference to reporters, when he was asked about his prohibitions on vaccine mandates in Florida, his protection of people's rights and freedoms in Florida. He gave one of the most perceptive answers on conservatism, on our political rights, on what freedom really is. One of the most perceptive answers I had ever heard from a politician. Take a listen.
There has never been a federal vaccine mandate imposed on the general public. I hear people talk about, they do things in the military. Yeah, when I was in the military, they used to give me all kind of stuff. Honestly, I wish I would have thought a little bit, but I mean, whatever it was. But that's much different than regulating the military and then imposing it on civilians in society. It's never been done before. They don't have the power to do it. There's no federal police power. States have the federal police power. So that's from a constitutional perspective. It is worlds apart. Now, some people say, hey, these local governments wanted to lock down businesses. They wanted to force mandates. They wanted to keep the kids locked out of school. Yeah, you're damn right I overruled them on that because they were wrong. And the fact of the matter is, you don't have the right to do wrong.
The fact of the matter is, you don't have the right to do wrong. That is one of the most perceptive, insightful observations about American government and the nature of liberty itself that I have ever heard from a politician. You don't have the right to do wrong. The typical Republican answer that you would have heard in the last 20 years is, well, look, people have the right to do whatever they want. If people want to do something crazy with their bodies, if people want to do something crazy and it's doesn't violate the certain limits of some constitutional interpretation, then that's totally their right. I don't agree with it, but it's their right. You have the squishy Republican answer would be you do have the right to do wrong. The correct answer is you do not have the right to do wrong. This is why some of the squishy Republicans will say, look, we're not going to have government mandates for the vaccine, but if a private business wants to, that's totally cool. Private business can do whatever they have the right to do whatever they want, even a bunch of wrong stuff. No, they don't. No, they don't. You don't have the right to do wrong. This is something about Ron DeSantis that is powerful. He talks like a linebacker and kind of looks like a linebacker, right? He's just a big guy who's like, look, okay, when I was in the military, right? He reminds you, I was in the military. When I was in the military, they shot me with all kinds of stuff. It's pretty stupid. I actually kind of wish I hadn't done that. But anyway, I did that, right? And he just talks in this very blunt, down-to-earth way. But then he'll say something that is philosophically extraordinarily sophisticated. You do not have the right to do wrong. So because he has that philosophical premise, he's gotten everything right about COVID in Florida, right? And so those just seem like very pragmatic, practical. No, we're not going to force masks. We're not going to force vaccine. We're not going to let businesses force these sorts of things. But it's because he's got real philosophical clarity here. And I think this is the reason that he's doing very well in the pre-potential running for president type of thing, is because Ron DeSantis is where the new right is, which is much less libertarian and it's much more conservative. This is why he's doing well. Now, if Donald Trump runs for president again, it's probably all a moot point because there won't be a primary because he'll clear the field. But very impressive stuff from DeSantis. I am thrilled to introduce an incredible app that everyone who buys gas needs to know about. That is Get Upside. Right now, our listeners are making up to 25 cents for every single gallon of gas every single time they fill up. Just download the free Get Upside app in the App Store or Google Play right now. Use promo code Knowles, K-N-O-W-L-E-S, and get a bonus 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's up to 50 cents cash back. Do not pay full price at the pump anymore. Get cash back using Get Upside. Just download the app for free and use promo code Knowles, K-N-O-W-L-E-S, to get up to 50 cents per gallon cash back on your first tank. Some people who drive a lot are making as much as $200 to $300 per month in cash back. There's no cash. There's only cash. Go straight to your bank account or PayPal, or if you prefer, an e-gift card for Amazon or other brands. Download the free Get Upside app, use promo code Knowles, and get up to 50 cents per gallon cash back on your first tank. That is code K-N-O-W-L-E-S. Not just do you want that philosophical clarity, but you want to be able to balance out the talking like a truck driver, but having the political vision to know where the country's supposed to go. The lower and the higher, right? The kind of on the ground, tangible, based in reality, and also the pie in the sky, abstract philosophy. And you saw a little bit more of the former when you looked at where he was giving this speech from. He was giving this press conference from Brandon, Florida.
It's obvious to a lot of the people in the crowd that they believe you chose Brandon because of the thing that goes around on certain websites. Is this why you came to Brandon, because of the trolling of the Biden administration?
So I think that Brandon, Florida is a great American city. I think the people here are fantastic.
He's about to say it.
And I can tell you, my only negative on Brandon was when I was growing up playing baseball, they always used to beat us every year. But now I think, as governor, I'm really proud to be able to do it. I want to thank Brandon Honda for hosting us here today.
Just say it, bro.
And we're proud to be able to make a stand for freedom in Brandon, Florida.
Let's go. Oh, he didn't say it. He was so close. He was a good sport. I'm not gonna say it.
Brandon, Florida.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it.
Because it's his favorite Honda dealership. Okay, I know. I think it might have something to do with the chant about Joe Biden.
Let's go.
That's good. You're going to need both of those things. Now, it's very early. It's 2021. The presidential is not until 2024. In 2013, for instance, no one could have guessed that Trump was going to be the nominee. People thought, oh, it's going to be Bobby Jindal, oh, it's going to be this guy, oh, it's going to be that guy, and it just wasn't. So Ron DeSantis has a long way to go to prove himself. There are going to be other candidates that come up. Donald Trump might run and wipe them all out. There might be a nominee who we've never heard of. But the reason I mentioned this DeSantis clip is because he is seeing something here, okay? And I think you don't have the right to do wrong. That is where the Republican Party is right now, and it's heading in that direction. The stragglers who are not there yet are heading in that direction. And I think whoever is going to be the nominee, whether it's Donald Trump himself, I think they're going to have to be in that area. They're going to have to be doing that thing. And DeSantis is doing an impressive job of that right now. I'm glad you like that clip. Hold up. Obviously, subscribe, ring the bell, get the notifications on YouTube. But what you got to do, here's what you got to do. You got to go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play. Wherever you get your audio podcasts, subscribe to The Michael Knowles Show. MICHAEL, Canada W, LES, SHOW. Subscribe, leave a 5-star review. We'll see you next time.
We work together, we get the job done. Thank Matt Cartwright for working with both parties to fix our roads, bridges, and ports, strengthen our manufacturing supply chains, and create millions of good-paying jobs to keep our economy moving.
Happy Friday, my little Friday friends. We'll get to the Rittenhouse verdict in a bit, but first the truly hard news. President Joe Biden underwent a colonoscopy. I believe we have exclusive tape of the procedure. Thank God they found nothing bad in his colon, well, except for his head. It was a tough procedure for the doctors. They didn't know which end to work on. So they brought in a veterinarian. They needed someone experienced with a horse's ass. Of course, that meant during the procedure, this person was in charge.
What do you want to know? I want to give you...
Yep, she was just a polyp away from the presidency. In other news, the Dems and the media are enraged. I know, surprise. Also, the earth is round, the sky is blue, and I'm handsome. So what set them off? Was it rising crime, broken supply chain, Joe pooping in the sink again? No, something even more serious. A Republican posted a meme. Yes, a meme. Quick, let's convene a crooked panel made up of left-wing psychos to condemn it.
Being posed by a sitting member of Congress.
Is a bigot with some serious mental issues.
Congressman Gosar is the death threat anime guy.
Is that really just a joke? It's the only way this guy seems to like to joke. He's constantly threatening people in the other party.
No, you're not supposed to do that. No. And it's not funny. And the kids don't care about your anime. It was not good.
What?
Did anybody run for Congress this time? Yes.
Yes, buddy. Anybody can run. So they had a vote to censor him over a meme.
What was the anime meme?
That affect the average, hardworking, tax-paying citizen. Now, the last time I checked, a meme didn't, one, demand that activists get in your faces if things don't go your way politically. They didn't excuse the burning down of businesses, redefining crime as protest, leaving dozens dead and causing more damage than Brian Stelter at the Golden Corral. A meme didn't call for the targeting of parents concerned over the brainwashing of their kids. A meme didn't separate kids by race, so they start at the earliest age to hate each other. A meme didn't push to defund the police all over the country, leaving a void that thugs happily exploited. Who did all that? Well, I'll give you a hint. It wasn't a meme. It wasn't a wacky dentist like Gosar. By the way, he can't be any wackier than my dentist, who once told me that water picks aren't just for teeth anymore. And he was right. Out to the ER. Sure, whatever Gosar did was stupid, I guess, because for a brief moment he acted like a Democrat, right? Getting the Dems to play by their own rules, that's like pulling teeth. I haven't even seen the actual meme, although immediately after he was censored, he retweeted it. And that's my type of guy. Well, that and Brazilian underwear models. And why didn't I see the meme? I tend not to look at this stupid stuff online. If I'm in a mood for deranged ramblings, I'll flip through Kat's diary. She doesn't know I have my own key. The fact is, like my affair with Whoopi Goldberg, no one would have known about the meme until the media amplified it. And they do that as a diversion from their own actual mayhem. We live in an era where the media and the activist class actively subvert civil society while attempting to destroy them. If I don't join the Dems in their feverish outrage over something you realize, like the moon landing or Kamala's smile, isn't real. Like a meme. It's like getting angry arguing about whether Santa Claus is black or white. Unless if the Democrats post
Black this shit,
I
nigga.
wouldn't care if they posted mimes. At least mimes know when to shut the up, right? Meanwhile, they just put the QAnon shaman behind bars for nearly 4 years. His crime? Showing up dressed like a Viking and scampering around the Capitol like a high school senior emptying lockers on the last day of school. In other words, he was acting just like the people who actually work in the Capitol the other 364 days a year. As the Babylon Bee noted, if only he burned down a car dealership, he would have gotten a lighter sentence. Some flavor of ice cream from Ben & Jerry's. But who's going to fight for him and call him an activist? No one. I guess I could point out the hypocrisy in all of this, but why? When Colorado Congresswoman Lauren Boebert already did.
What's her name? Lauren Boebert?
The Speaker has designated the floor to discuss members'
Boebert.
inappropriate actions. Shall we? The Jihad Squad member from Minnesota has paid her husband, and not her brother husband, the other one, over $1 million in campaign funds. This member is allowed on the Foreign Affairs Committee while praising terrorists. My colleague and 3-month presidential candidate from California, who is on the Intelligence Committee, slept with Fang Fang, a Chinese spy.
Excuse me, lady, but making fun of Omar and Fartman Swalwell, are you trying to take my job? If Lauren starts calling Kat a drug addict, I'm suing for copyright infringement. Fact is, incendiary language can only go one way. It's purely acceptable for libs to excuse real aggression.
If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station.
At a gasoline station. Damn. That don't make you sound smarter, woman, than saying gas station.
Right. She would have said petroleum. I might have gave
Yeah, I would have gave her a little step up.
Yeah, 1 point for the petrol.
She said at a gasoline station.
Lady, I ain't never heard nobody say a gasoline station.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful, because I can show you that outraged citizens are the ones who have made America what she is.
This Kyle Rittenhouse trial, it reminded a lot of people of something, the Brett Kavanaugh hearings. In America, there's a thing about both white vigilantism and white tears.
White tears. So what you're saying is you guys better shut up while we can get more in your face than Nancy Pelosi's team of surgeons. Step back and let's look at everything, right? Manipulating video to attack Covington Catholic school kids, the targeting of parents, the imprisoning of the January 6th rioters for years, the media's distortion of the Rittenhouse case and targeting judge and jury. And remember the whip story where the left and the Dems attempted to ruin a Border Patrol officer by lying about him whipping migrants? President Biden said, I promise you, those people will pay. But like most of his promises and his digestion, it was nothing but hot air. Where the hell did that story go, right? It's harder to find than Mitch McConnell's chin. And why are we letting the mob off the hook? Hey, Republicans, grow some balls. Whose side are you on anyway? And of course, there's this entire hoax designed to undermine an election because the media not only hated the winner, but they hated his voters more.
Dossier has been corroborated.
When you look at just what has become public, some of the public information is very much in line with what is reported in that dossier. The 3 core goals that are outlined in that dossier by that particular source do seem to be very well borne out.
Much of the dossier has been corroborated. If you look at one of the memos from Comey written in February of 2017, he effectively says that large portions of the Steele dossier have been corroborated.
The dossier has been corroborated. There are parts of the dossier that really have been proven out.
Yeah. Oh, poor thing. It's pretty clear the left is losing, so they gotta fight dirty. Target, instill fear, and if anyone fights back, use political and media power to destroy them. So I kind of forgive people like Gozar for posting stupid memes. They're new at this game, but it's a game the Dems and the media have been perfecting for years. But the game clock is running out, and they're about to suffer a huge loss. But hey, maybe they can blame that on a meme.
Amazing Grass. Just a scoop, stir, and sip can help you feel amazing.
Let's welcome Bananas. Yes! She's our go-to financial expert when we need money for lunch.
These algorithms got me. They swear down I don't want to see nothing but Fox News. That's the only thing Travis want to watch is Fox News. Don't send him nothing else, yo.
And author of the great new book, The Respondent, Greg.
Jeez, this is a long ass fucking chapter. Oh yeah, no. Alright, let's see. I'm almost done.
Three. All right, let's go. Oh my God! What in the world? Okay, what's going on here? I'm gonna take this handgun and this money really quick.
Hey, if you don't need it
there
no
you go.
more. Yeah.
Hey, CJ, it's Sweet.
Hey, what's up?
If you don't respect your body, ain't nobody gonna respect you. You're too skinny, CJ. You need to pack on some muscle.
I want a name. I'll buy a clockwork wife.
Just looking out for you, homie. It's all show and respect, you know.
Yeah, I guess.
There's a gym I go to a couple blocks out from the Grove. Go check it out and get yourself a gangster physique.
Later, man.
If you want to increase your stamina or muscle, or if you want to learn new moves, go check out the gym around San Andreas. All right, let's go pump some iron, I guess. Might as well try it. I don't know if it's part of the mission though. I think it just puts it on the map. All right, let's see where we're at. Here we should just go over there. I like how I was like on the phone as the whole shootout was going on. Like, I'm just chilling right now. So I gotta tell you, man, playing this, maybe it's because it's super late. I get all like emotional, dog. It's like bringing back some memories. I played this game.
Playing this old game.
God, I was working like an ice cream shop or something when this game came out. Here we go. Don't mind me just have a gun in here. Let's go ahead and unarm really quick.
Yo, you want to learn some new
Yo, my teacher is so funny. Look at the memes she uses for this PowerPoint.
Oh yeah, let's pump some iron. I think it's like right here.
And everything's on fire, but you just pretending it's fine. I'm like, yo.
I wonder, like, I mean, let's just try the max really quick, see what happens.
My one professor
Like,
is
I
only
forgot
like
what the commands are for this.
2 years older than me. That's weird as hell.
The what? Okay, press X and H bars inside the what? Oh, the thing on the bottom. Might be too much weight on there. Hold on, I don't think I... Oh, I'm doing reps, okay. I was like, in my spot, man, at 320 though. That's a lot. Maybe we should do, it should help a little bit, right? I'm gonna do a little bit more. 320, that's insane. Let's do it again. Let's try, like, something I could probably actually do. I would say 280. I don't know what my max is, actually. I haven't benched, like, where somebody can spot me in a while since I work out at home, usually. Unless Clementine can help me, imagine. She'd be stronger than me one day. I would say that I remember when I was in college, I was like 24, finishing up my senior year. I remember I lived with my dad still. I finally moved out after that, but we used to work out downstairs and he'd be off work some days. And I remember, like, he was 50 years old when he benched 300 pounds. And we were like, I was spotting him. It's crazy, man. Like remembering all that is just insane. Oh, nice. Limit for today. Come back tomorrow. Wait a minute. All right, that should give you some more strength, right? Back over here and see what happens. I think I got to get stronger, though.
Man, you're an embarrassment. Get yourself some muscles first.
Man, hold on. Use machine. This is more cardio, though. Hold on. Dumbbells. Here we go. Oh, I got to come back tomorrow for everything? Really? Yeah, I have to wait. Oh, well. I think these... I guess you can't really interact with them. I don't remember if you can or not. Didn't see an icon, so... Yo, that's wild. It's cool that this came out when it did. Because, honestly, there's, like, no huge releases this fall, it feels like. Alright, so we did that. Let's go ahead and see... right up here, anyways. Oh, no, hold on, the S is right there, but... Am I... Oh, yeah, I'm backwards. Okay, let's go back over here. I really want to, like... God, it's like, I wish I could do a video for all three, like, in one video. And show enough, but I felt like... Let's just play each from the beginning, you know? But if this first video does well, it'll just be like a part 1/review. I'll kind of do one for each Grand Theft Auto, I feel like. And then, I guess from there, it'll just kind of be one of those... Wait a minute. Is this like a back entrance? Oh, it is. Interesting. The one I'm most scared of is Vice City, though. Because that soundtrack's like in every cutscene, I feel like. Here we go.
Time to give Piltover a showdown. Never forget.
At Thermo Fisher Scientific, we take pride in everything we do. Although custom oligos are common and inexpensive, they are no exception. The moment an order comes in, our service team quickly gets to work. Our lab technicians and specialists use their expertise to provide superior quality and service at every step. Performing post-synthesis
Give me 15, motherfucker. I'll write it down in a second. I ain't gonna pencil with you, fat sucker. Let me play first. Hey, what's up? What's up, man? Who winning? Who you think, huh? Me. That does it. That's game null and void, motherfuckers. So, what kind of guns we working with now? One time came through, raided the spot. We ain't got shit now. Well, what you gonna do if the ballers roll through? Throw shoes at them? Say, what happened to Emmett? Emmett? Shit, gangs these days got mags, AKs, and all kind of stuff. Emmett, on the other hand, ain't got shit.
Well, until we get that plug, we gotta deal with a cat that always been there for us.
Emmett Seville Boulevard family. We ain't too close these days, but nonetheless, I'll take you to see him. Get ourselves strapped up. Come on, man. Nigga, shake him up again.
What happened to the family? Where the love at?
Shit happens. Seville wrongs Temple. Temple wrongs Grove. Bad blood leads to bad blood. If you read the book, that's the way of the world, baby.
Yeah, but you know you gotta keep it real.
I admire you, Carl. You're a leader, a visionary. Remember me when you get to the top.
Give it a rest, Smoke. You full of shit.
I love the beginning of the game is like just this little area. You know, even though this map is huge.
That's my man right there, you know what I'm saying? Hey! Who shot at me? What you kids want?
Hey, Pops! Hey, what's happening?
Aren't you Beverly Johnson's boy?
That's right.
Right. Say, ain't you dead?
No,
Why that Brandon Scott mama name Beverly Johnson?
Beverly, that's why we here, sir. We want to get the people who did it. Well, you come to the right place. Try anything you like, boy. Man, look at this old shit. Die, little glass ball of fool.
We're just, I guess, aiming with the gun right now, just practicing it up or what?
You boy.
The aiming actually feels better than I remember.
A friend of mine.
I remember not being that good, you know? Oh, let's see. Yeah, auto aims. Look at that.
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
Real Grove Street style now.
Yeah.
We got 5 bottles now. Let's go. Oh, I got a tactical roll. What is that? This man's little top shot or what?
I knew I was the chosen one.
Oh, man. Check out Special Agent Big Smoke.
Good gracious, man. Yeah, you just aim and it's just done.
Oh, you're making me so proud of you.
All right, use manual aim to shoot car's gas tank. I love that in these games you can. Oh yeah, that's gonna be. It's gonna be tough to just do that. It's instant? No way.
Hey, you're a killer, baby. Ice cold. But remember something. Real strength comes from within, my brother. Listen to the boy. Yeah, I guess liberty didn't soften you none, huh? Hey, look, let's split. Hey, I see you around, Emmett. I'm 100% behind you, boys. But remember this, you didn't get them from me. And remember this, Emmett is the place for guns. I've always got high-quality merchandise, and I've been proudly serving the community for over 30 years. Crazy old fool. Hey, look, you drive, man.
I seen Noah Cannons in this strap in the museum. Where we going?
Man, I'm real tired, dude. Drop me off in my crib, baby.
All right, drive smoke home. All right. I like that it's like setting up everything on the map essentially.
Going on, man? Shit seems pretty fucked up.
People have to open their eyes and their hearts, CJ.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the choices all men face, brother. Sometimes they seem real, but other times there's no choice at all.
At least you still talking shit. You ain't changed a bit.
Who, me? No, never.
All right, let's get this. I accidentally started a drive-by a minute ago. I was like, what's L1 do? I forgot drive-by.
Thanks, CJ. I see you around.
Later, Smoke. Speak.
I thought you was representing.
What?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought you was rolling with Grove Street again.
Already told you I am.
Well, I ain't seeing your colors yet. You gotta fly the flag, man. Ain't nobody gonna respect you if you ain't representing your hood.
Alright, man. My bad. I just ain't got around to it yet.
There's a Pico around the corner from the gym again. Go get yourself some green.
What's this? Oh, it's right over here. Let me get in the car, though. Even though it's, like, really close by, I feel like it takes forever to get there on foot. And when you get in the car, it actually gives you, like, the directions. I think what I'll probably do, I'll do, like, another mission or two and then stop. I don't know how long I've been recording for. It's been over an hour. At least on my raw footage. Bingo, alright. Oh, it's a clothing shop. That's right. I was like, we're going to get some fresh clothes because this tank top gotta be changed.
Welcome.
Polo shirts, fits all sizes. $5 for 2 of them, alright.
Changing rooms over there.
Pretty good deal. Every place just has like stuff all over the floor. Actually, oh, the green shirt. Oh, let's see. No, that's not the... Well, I guess it's kind of like the other guys. It kind of fits the, I guess, affiliation with his friends and stuff. Let's go back, though. Not really feeling it. Jackie, that might be the one. Oh, track top? Nah. Let's try. I think this might be the play. Yeah, that looks better. All right. At least for now. For now. We're good.
Thank you, sir.
Can we change pants though? A ton of options, I thought. There's a menu at. There it is. All right, let's do different pants. Sweatpants. Hold on, let's see. Beige pants. I think that's actually the fit with these.
Let's
see.
say what you painting.
Oh man. You know what? This doesn't look bad.
Yo, what's good?
I go with this.
Boozy, what up, bro?
You gotta be random with it. Pull on the back of the shirt at first. Alright, we're good. Spent like so much money in here. Alright, let's go.
We're all confused because there is no normal. There is no normal in teenage years.
I don't know how to describe me. I'm not an adult yet, but I'm not a kid anymore. My life is still like, I don't know what's going on yet.
Brittany, how old are you?
15. I told him my age. He was like, age doesn't matter, it's just a number.
But I'm very wise and my head's not up my ass.
I literally feel like my heart just got ripped out of my chest. My mom, she was like, I just want to ask, do you need to go on birth control?
I just laughed at it.
You can't hang out with older people and then expect them not to do anything.
I just about never get drunk when I'm going out to a party because I'm scared something's gonna happen, like someone's gonna do something.
You can always tell somebody no.
They're still gonna do. Girls are scared to say no. What? Guys are powerful.
Really?
Hey, let's get it. Is that shirt gonna clip through the pants the whole time? It might be something that has to get changed. Hey, it's whatever. Actually, you know what? I gotta change it back. I'm sorry. It's bothering me. That's something that's gonna like haunt me if I do more videos, you know? Let's change it back. I don't know if we gotta change clothes. I think we can change clothes in the house too, but yeah. Actually, I'm just gonna go back to. Hold on. Where's like woodland camo? What does that look like? I mean, it looks fine, I guess. I think you know what I think it is. I think the pants are gonna be fine. I think that it's the top.
I've been divorced 8 times.
I might just go like the black tank top instead. Let's just try that. Because like the hoodies and stuff are so big in this game. There we go. Gotta get the muscles going too. All right, let's get it.
Thank
How much was the tank? That was like $50. That's crazy. All right, we're actually done. That's a little bit better. I think the goatee might be something I change also. I chose it just because it kind of forced me to, I think. All right, I think we're good. And my car is stolen. I love it. My muscle has increased. Sorry, buddy. I need this.
Heroes get killed.
This is BS is over there. That's big smoke. Let me go back over here. I love like how the cars just like pile up. There's like an incident. There's gang wars. The cops show up. I mean, it's just like all these real events are happening, and it's like I don't know. A lot of games feel like dead. Like there's nothing to. All right, I'm gonna get out of here too. Yeah, I'm about to go get on the game. I'll let y'all later, yo. Peace.